What is up, guys? We are back at it again. Your boy Fortune. I'm here to share with you some knowledge on how you can implement the Daraja 2.0 API to integrate into your website some kind of Lipa and M-PESA system. So before you continue, I'd like to ask you guys to request you guys to go down there and hit that subscribe button, because as I share this knowledge which can help you out in one way or another on a daily basis, it really motivates when someone subscribes to your channel, gives you a like. Whatever you can do, I'll highly appreciate it. So I've got everything set up. I'm going to show you what we're going to need to create this. So this is the final project. You have seen the demo. You've seen the demo working, so we're not going to test this out. We're just going to replicate our own version. So I've laid out a few things that we're going to need. First, we'll need obviously the main Daraja API, which you can go to developer.safaricom.co.ke and you will see a similar landing page. We are also going to need the repository containing the code. I'm just going to show you where you will get your own credentials and change this yourself. So be sure to visit this GitHub. I leave it down in the description. Be sure to follow me also here and star a repository fork. Collaborate with me on GitHub. I'll really appreciate it. So this is the repository we need, but we're going to go in a systematic order. We're not going to start by downloading this source code, because there are a few other prerequisites we need before we start working on this. So how about we get to those first? So first of all, you're not going to test this either in production or even just the sandbox with an offline app. You need the app to be online. So this is where a service known as Heroku comes in. If you are, I'm guessing you know how to use Git and GitHub, because this is really necessary. So we're going to be using Heroku to post our web app live, our PHP app live for free. And so because we are developers, we won't be using this graphical user interface. We'll be using the Heroku command line interface. So just head over. I'll leave this link down in the description, and then just download for your operating system. And once that setup runs, you will be good to go. So that's all you need to know about the Heroku command line interface and Heroku itself. So let's get rid of that. So let's get back to the source code. So what you're gonna need to do is to just get this, then just hit on code and then download the zip file. That is all you need to do. Okay, so once you have the zip file downloaded, I have it already, so let me minimize on my desktop. I've extracted it into this Daraja tutorial folder, and I've opened it up using my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so first of all, we need to get this website live so that we can be able to see what exactly is going on and for the Safaricom API to work. So first, to get this online, you have to put it in your GitHub repository. So let's get, once you're done with all this, all you have to do on your GitHub profile is to come and create a new GitHub repository, a brand new repository for a brand new project. Okay, that should be loading up in a while. In the meantime, let me explain something here. You'll find out this is how the index.html looks like. So I've basically just created a form, styled it up, and then because we don't want to have the number being hard coded or the amount, I've created a PHP form to be able to send data through the method of post, and the script handling this is the STK initiate.php. This is where we edit all the credentials. And so once the form is submitted, we get the phone number and the amount dynamically. Okay, that's all you need to know for the index.php page explanation. So hopefully this has loaded up. We're going to call this, I'm calling mine Daraja tutorial. Okay, it's available. I'm going to skip all of this and just create a repository. Sorry about the internet connection, but it will be done in a few seconds. And once we have created that, let's not even wait for it to load up. Let's just head back. You need to open your Git bash or your terminal inside the directory we are working on, which is in examp htdocs the Daraja tutorial folder. And then what you want to do is initialize an empty GitHub repository. Then you want to add all the files to this repository. That's simple. And then you want to commit the changes. So just git commit -m, and then I'm going to say new commit, and then hit enter. Okay. So now we have to add the remote URL pointing it to our GitHub repository. So okay, this is it. So just copy this and then just head back to your terminal, and then all you have to do is git remote add origin, and then just paste in and hit enter. Then all you have to do now is git push origin, and we're pushing this to the master branch. This should take a few seconds depending on your internet connection. Okay, mine is done. So if I was to go ahead and refresh this, you will get to see that all the local code from my local machine has been exported to GitHub. So you can get there, you can call GitHub as maybe how am I going to put this? GitHub is like a USB drive or something of the sort, a cloud storage for developers. So as you can see, all the code is right here. So that's all I needed to do. But then we have to push this to Heroku as well. So let me just clear this terminal. We want this live to be doing this from a live server or a live server. So you're going to do Heroku login. It's going to log in through the browser. I should just close this connection because we are not going to be using our local server. We're using a live one. So press any key to open up the browser to log in. Like I said, this all depends on your internet connection. Mine is not that fast, so please bear with me. Okay, so this will load up and ask for my credentials to log into Heroku. Okay, this is taking longer than expected. I don't know if I should post this video at this point. No need. Just loaded it quite up nicely. So log into the Heroku command line interface. Old MacDonald had a farm. Why the hell did I know that? Okay, so you can now close this page and return to your command line interface. You should be logged in. And as you can see, I'm logged in with that particular account. So all we have to do now is just push these changes to Heroku. So you just type in git push Heroku. No, you have to create a new app. So Heroku new. Oh, no. Heroku, that is a deprecated command. Heroku creates. This is more modern and supported. So what this does is Heroku creates an app for you through the command line, and this is the link. morningbasin.git, but it has nothing, so we have to push our code there so that it can be served up to that particular URL. So now you just type in git push Heroku master, and that's it. We now have our project running live on a live web server. So that way, whatever we do using the Daraja API will actually work. Unlike the local host, forget about the local host, that won't work. So let's just click on this link by hitting Control and then just click. And it will open up on our browser. So you can see the difference. The first URL was morning forest something.heroku, but for our new provisioned app, it is morning basin. Okay, no, this is the wrong link. This is it. Click on this. Morning basin 87523.heroku.app. So anyone in the world can visit this link and it will still get them to this particular user interface. But if I was to put in some details right about now, this shouldn't work because it's not working. We haven't linked the SDK simulates SDK initiate.php with our credentials, so we most likely aren't getting any output from this. Probably we're just going to get an error. So okay, you can see errors. Request ID, error code, blah blah blah, invalid in access token. So let's just fix that right now. So let's get to the meat and bones of this tutorial, which is Safaricom's Daraja API. Now that we have this live, we're good to go. So let's head back to Daraja API. Let me log in. You should just create an account. So I'm just going to log into mine. Secure, and then just hit login. And done. So you're going to have to create a new app. Let me just do that. Create a new app. And let's just call it Daraja. And then I'm just going to tick this, and tick this as well, and just create. And just like that, we have a new app. So what this does is it gives you your very own access token, your very own secret consumer key, and all that, the consumer key and the consumer secrets. So first of all, let's head back into this file, the SDK initiate. You already have your first two parameters. These are the first two parameters. So just copy this consumer key, copy that, and then just paste it right here. And the new consumer secrets, copy that as well. And voila, the business shortcode. This I'm going to explain. Head over to APIs. We're going to be simulating a simple STK push. So just hit on M-PESA Express simulate, and then just select the particular app, which is Daraja. I'm going to leave the amount as 1. On part A, enter your phone number. And the second phone number is still the same phone number. Company, just leave that. Payment of X, you can change that. Callback URL, we will edit this later in our code. And then that's it. Timestamp, and then the generated pass key. So you can already simulate this query, by the way. Once you hit on this simulate request, you will get the SDK push. I'm not gonna do that because the sound device that is recording my audio is my very own mobile device. So if I do that, I just literally stop everything. But if you hit this request will be simulated, and if you pay, it will just go to Safaricom. You'll be paying Safaricom some 1 shilling through their sandbox. Okay, let's look at this. These are all the parameters you will require. So just head back here for the business code, the business short code. This is the Safaricom's, let's just head back here, business short code. This is the Safaricom sandbox till number. Or in this case, if you have your own till number, then put it right there. So let me just copy this and just paste it right there. And the pass key, copy the pass key. There you go. And that's literally everything you need for this system to work. The last and final detail that you need to fix is this callback URL. This callback URL still points to the first live server that I had in my own project. So I'm just going to delete that and then just head back to my browser on our new live server. Copy this, and this is what will handle the JSON data that we get back from this transaction. Like I said, the Daraja API works with live or live websites. It doesn't work on something that's running on WAMP or XAMPP or whatever local development server you have. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let me just explain a little bit about the code in the callback URL. So what this does is you get some response in form of JSON, which is JavaScript object notation. You get a result code, which is 0, and a result description of confirmation received successfully. So this data, we're just logging it into a log file, into a text file, and we're just going to be storing this in a .txt file on our server. So that's all the callback URL.php is actually doing. So basically, that's all you need for this code to actually work. So all that's left for us to do is get this code to our live server. So we just open up back the terminal, open back the terminal, and then I'm just going to git add period. This is adding all the new changes, and then just git commit -m, and then I'm just going to say second commit, and then just git push origin master. That pushes your code to your local, to your remote GitHub repository, but this doesn't push to Heroku, so we just git push to the Heroku master. And it will create the environment, everything, all your dependencies, and launch to the live server, the live URL. So if I come back here and refresh this, I apologize if there'll be like a breakage in audio in the next part, because I'm going to test this. I'm going to make sure it actually works. I don't want to end this tutorial without ascertaining that the project actually did work. So let's give it an amount of 1, key in that phone number, and hit on this donate button. And it works. I get an STK push, and actually it didn't affect the recording, so it's still going on. But the system works. We get an STK push on our system, and we get back all this JSON about the transaction and all it was all about. So if I was to come here and create a new, let's say data.json, I just want to see this formatted, and then in here, let me just paste this in, and then just format this using JSON language features. And that's it. You can get the merchant ID, the checkout request ID, the request code 0 for success, and you get the success request accepted for processing. So that's basically it. You have initialized some online payments with an STK push. So that's what we wanted to achieve in this tutorial. So join me in the next one as we work on something more exciting, like storing this in a database, getting the transaction status, if the user canceled it or if the user actually went through with the transaction and all that. So one last reminder, be sure to subscribe to this channel before you click out of this video. And I'm thankful for all that, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Peace out.